Welcome to the NCAA tournament postgame press conference after the second round matchup between Christian Newport and Grove City. Wolverines fall 16-14 here in Newport News. Coach, just an opening statement about today's NCAA tournament
game. First off, just congratulations to CNU. We've played them a couple times now, and they are awesome. I mean, they're just really good, and so it was really fun. We always just talk about needing our opponent to bring out the best in us, and they definitely do that. They're a very worthy opponent, and so it was fun to compete. I'm devastated for our seniors and our guys to not get to continue to play. But I couldn't be prouder of just the way that they carry themselves and the men that they are and the way that they compete and just embody the values of our program. And just to even the final whistle to score, I don't know if the goal should have counted or didn't, but to score as the game expires, like there's just no quit for 60 minutes. And that's just who they are as people. And so, just really proud of these guys.
We're joined by head coach Alec Jernstedt along with senior Matt Wide. Coach, can you talk about a little bit about how your team came out in obviously a hostile environment playing as the road team today, and then what was working well, and then what ultimately was different?
Yeah, we didn't come out super well. To give up 7 1/4 is just a tough hole to dig, and we've done that, more than once this year, and so that's a little frustrating to, but. I was just the way we fought back, the way we got ourselves back in the game. I think we were really unselfish with the ball. We were able to, I think a lot of assisted goals. I haven't seen the final stats, but it just felt like nobody really cared who made plays or who scored. I mean, Matt's going to go down as the second all-time leading scorer. I think he had 1 shot and we scored 14 goals. Like that's a pretty good day generally offensively. And so we just didn't get enough stops, and particularly early, we just didn't get into the speed of the game fast enough. For the most part, I thought we were able to get some things that we wanted, but just not enough. And like I said, not enough early. So,
Matt, can you talk about from a player's perspective? Is there anything different with preparation? This one obviously played a double overtime game in the Christian for the regular season. NCAA tournament. Anything different from playing with the road team?
No, I don't think there's anything really different preparation-wise. Same thing week to week. We got to be our best when that first whistle blows, and we got to play for a full 60 minutes when that last whistle blows. And I think it's a little bit unique, obviously, entering the NCAA tournament. It's a little bit different mindset, knowing that if you lose, we're done. But at the same time, we got to prepare the same way we prepared all year long. We look at every game the same as we got to just go in and be our best through the entire day. Be emotionally full but physically spent at the end of the day. That's kind of what we talked about, especially throughout the playoffs. And I think that was kind of just the mindset going through the entire week. Like you said, we had a game on Wednesday. We played great. I would say we were definitely physically spent, but also emotionally full and ready for this opportunity. And we didn't come out on the right end of it, but I think the preparation was the same and the mindset was the same. And I can't give up enough congratulations to CNU, but I can't thank my teammates enough because I think they poured everything out that they had for their brothers and for the Lord. So no different preparation, no different mindset, just had to come in and take care of business. And unfortunately, we're not on the right end of that today, but all season long, I think everyone gave everything they had, which is all we needed.
I think this is your 6th loss of the year by 2 goals or less. You've been in almost every game this year. What is it about this team that makes you guys so competitive?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough losing 6 by less than 2. I didn't know that, but I think what makes it so tough is that we're never going to quit. No matter what, we're not going to give up on our brothers. It's tough to go down early, especially like we did today, and then I think even in the fourth quarter we were down by as much as 7 at one point. But it's always just next thing you can do, control what you can control, and have a short mindset. And I think that's what's really propelled us all year. And it's really tough being on the losing side of those battles. But this team has gone down. It's playing the 2, 3, 4, and then York, who's top 10, and OWU was really good, and a bunch of other really competitive teams. And it sucks. There's no other way to really put it, but I think what makes us competitive is just our willingness to compete no matter what the score is and just pour it all out there for our brothers.
Question for both of you to start with Coach. Can you talk about the steps forward this young program continues to make, getting a chance to host an NCAA tournament game this year for the first time in college since the 80s? What does that mean for your legacy? And that Matt, I'm not sure if you're back or not as a senior, but what does that mean for your legacy as a team?
Yeah, I don't know. I think when we talk, it's less about our legacy and more about just trying to glorify God in everything that we do, and leaving a legacy that honors him. And when people look at our program, that they would say, like, there's something different about those guys in the way that they talk, in the way that they compete, in the way that they, can lose a game. I mean, we lose a game to CNU, and our 5th-year senior who's never going to play lacrosse again is going to ask those guys to pray with them and recognize that, like, ultimately it's not about us. And so, I'm really, Matt, in our program, wearing the number 4 is a huge honor. It's something that is passed down. You don't get to pick it. And I think Matt has embodied everything about what we are as a team, like, to the fullest for 4 years. And it's going to be really hard to see him go. I think that when you are an 8-year-old program, I mean, 4 years ago, we had 23 guys on the roster, and we're tied at halftime with Cabrini, who just won a national championship. And so we continue to take steps forward. I think, my objective self says, I think there's 10 or 15% more for us to continue to achieve. There's things that we don't have that we will. It just takes time. There's experience and just DNA and mana that comes from, like, the history of your program that we just are building. And so, I hope that Matt and his classmates can leave and say, we might not have gotten the program to where it's going to go, but we know that whatever success comes next, like, those guys are gonna stand on our shoulders, or live under the shade of trees they didn't plant. And so it's really exciting. I think hosting a game is great, but ultimately we have to figure out how to win these games. And this year, like, to your point, we've been good at losing games close. And so, that's the next challenge. And so it's just heartbreaking that Matt won't be here for that moment. But when that dam breaks, I do think that I hope that he and all the guys that have played in this class can say that we helped do that. We may not have scored a goal or even been there on that day, but when those wins come, the tournament wins come, and we believe that they are, they know that they had a lot to do with it, but ultimately not for our glory or for our own legacy, but for, God's glory. And that's kind of what we're trying to pursue every day, to just be the best versions of ourselves, to love each other well, and be eternally focused.
Yeah, I think, kind of like you said, we're pretty young, only 8 years old, but at the same time, I think what we've been able to accomplish, the team that Coach Jay has built, the culture that we have as this team, is as strong as teams that are 15, 20 years old. We talk a lot about the alumni, and especially the club team waking up at 5, 6 a.m. to go out and practice, because that's the only time the field is available, just because they love the guys and they love being able to go out there and play. And I think that's something that's propelled us so much so far throughout both my 4 years, but the years before, is just wanting to go out there, not just to play lacrosse, but to play with your brothers and have fun and glorify the Lord, like Coach Jay said. And I hope that, after my 4 years here and the seniors in my class are finishing up, it's not about, like, the trick plays or the special moments like that I hope the guys remember. I hope it's just the willingness to do whatever you can for your brothers, just diving for ground balls, giving it all out there. I mean, I know myself, Hoagie, and Kobe, for the most part, played a ton of attack, but it started with riding, and I think our bodies went through the ringer more than most attackmen in the country, just because we're willing to be the start of when defense starts. And I think that's just things like that I hope guys leave. And there's been seniors that have done stuff all 4 years that have been really, really incredible. But just our closeness and our willing to compete and just put everything on the line day in and day out. I hope that's what the guys take from us, and that's what I've taken from guys in the past, just their willingness to leave everything out there for one another, and give it all they got. That's, I think, what's propelled our program and what will continue to make us successful going ahead. And I know there's such a bright future coming for us.
Coach, just one last thing, if you want to take a moment to underscore the careers of these seniors. You mentioned it several times, Danny with 12 saves today. I think he finishes with an even 600 for his career.